问天，
我们在自己家的楼顶上面就可以看到。
第一次感觉挺好的，
发射很美。
立刻高兴就放烟花。
手指的方向是我们发射塔的位置。
Hey guys, guess where we are now? I bet you can tell the clue from my shirt style and the surroundings.
Mr. Soft, we are in Hainan right now.
Diqi, what's your first impression about Hainan?
Well, the blue sky, open sea, and the yummy tuna chicken.
There is one more specialty now. That's a rocket. China is about to launch Wentian Laboratory module.
This is the second step to build China's Tiangong space station.
Obviously, we are not the only ones attracted by Wentian. We came across a group of young people in town.
我们是西北工业大学的学生，我们是来这边拍火箭的。对，
这次是一个社团，然后申请了暑期的摄影实践。
我们就在附近租的民宿，有时间的话可以过来玩。拜拜拜拜拜拜。
周老师，对，好，这个是我们表老师，狗老师。
啊，你们最近就住在这儿是吗？
对，好，欢迎来。
这个问天舱的发射是继去年天河核心舱发射之后时隔应该是有14个月了。真正关注载人航天发射，包括这个航天摄影的这些朋友，已经等了14个月了，才再次看到这次长五 B 重披战袍再次出征。所以这次的这个发射大家都非常的期待。
我们俩都是第2次。
对，之前
长五 B 首飞，对，天问、天河，然后还有天舟2号。与摄影的技术来讲，大家可能大差不差。我们可能需要把这种，我们对于航天这种敬畏，把作为一个未来科研工作者的故事讲好，把我们自己从儿时的一个梦想讲好，这个是我们一直想做的事情。
因为我在初一的时候，我喜欢玩纸飞机，喜欢从网上找各种各样的教程，折各种各样的纸飞机。我觉得这个东西挺有意思的，所以说我现在就是学的是真飞机。这张照片是当时我有一个同学在那个起水湾那边拍的。我觉得这两个红旗应该是这张画面的典型之笔。
问天实验舱是咱们国家空间站建造工程里边的第1个实验舱也是第2个主力舱段。它实际上是由3个舱段组成分别是它的这个大柱段，这主要是我们的这个实验舱段，就实验机柜主要是布置在这个区域。同时，我们还有3个立式的这个航天员的睡眠区以及卫生间。从以前神舟飞船的蜗居，到后来天宫1号、天宫2号，我们实现了一个小居室。去年发射的核心舱我们把它形象的比喻说31厅1卫。所以这一次的这个问天舱再增加一套31厅1卫。航天探索，这代表了人类的终极未来。虽然它说的是未来的事情，但是它对我们当下的生活也有很大的一个帮助。包括我们这个小宝宝用的尿不湿、气垫鞋、微波炉，这些技术其实都来自于航天，从航天转为民用，造福我们人类的生活。
如此近的，虽然这个近应该打双引号，靠在我们的面前，心里是非常有一种神圣的感觉。
我们是学这个的，所以说我们看着，未来我们可能会从事的事业，看着这个大家伙上天，我们也会从内心感到一种骄傲。
这个，
你好，
你好，谢谢。去年我们参加火箭就是2楼，我们就吃过一顿。
Spaceflight has become a feature of the town and is closely related to the lives of local residents. As they continue their daily lives, they also welcome the people gathering here for the same space dream.
每次发射的话，有很多外地人都开车过来看，人来多了，我们的生意也好做了。
这几天，反正估计龙楼这边人都海边都是人。 我每次卫星发射都到我们店的门口能看得到，有一些感受呢，就在马路啊、海边啊都鼓掌啊、钻花生啊。成功后呢，立刻每次都放一个大大的烟花，庆祝国家的火箭成功了。
万无一失，一箭成功。
望这次能发射顺利。
祝这次的发射顺利成功，祖国越来越强大。
8、9、8、7、6、5、4、3、2、1。
Finally, it was time to launch the rocket. The excitement of seeing the rocket take off is beyond description. How far away from exploring the universe? Maybe it's just the distance of looking up, or another affectionate gaze into the sky.
Hello everybody, good afternoon everybody. Welcome to today's NPU's live streaming. Nice to meet you. First of all, before we start, I'm gonna introduce us to you students for today's live streaming. Well, first of all, I'm Callie. Maybe you have known me for the previous live streaming. I'm Callie from the NPU Admissions Office. And this here is Professor Gou from the School of Mechanical Engineering. Today we have the honor to invite Professor Gou to join us on this live streaming to talk about our manned aircraft and space station construction. As we known to us all, the development of China's space industry can be traced back to the 1956. The purpose of the China space development is to explore outer space, extend understanding of the Earth as well as the universe, and make peaceful use of outer space to promote the civilization and the social progress. So today we have the honor to invite Professor Gou to talk to us about our development, especially the NPU involvement in Chinese space development in the recent past years. And we have been prepared and collected some questions before this live webinar. So we are going to have the honor to ask our Professor Gou some questions related to our space construction as well as our NPU's involvement in this process. Okay, now let's start with our first question some students have been asking. The first question is, since the year of 2005, Northwestern Polytechnical University has participated in the design mission of China's manned space industry for 18 years. So I would like to ask, Professor Gou, you have been invited 8 times to witness and to participate in the launch of our space aircraft. So would you like to share with us your experience and also your thoughts?
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. It's my honor to attend this webinar to share some story and some information about our China manned space project. Actually, our industrial design team from NPU School of Mechanical Engineering, we are deeply involved with the development and the design of the China manned space, including the spaceship, the space lab, and the space station for almost 18 years.
18 years.
18 years. As we know, in 2003, China launched the first manned spaceship. It's called Shenzhou 5, and General Yang Liwei became the most famous people in China. He is the first astronaut who entered the outer space successfully. So after 2 years, we got a chance, a good opportunity to visit the to visit the space town in Beijing, and we start the design work from Shenzhou 8. As you know, for China manned space project, the spaceship called Shenzhou. Shenzhou means miracle spaceship. Miracle spaceship. From Shenzhou 1 to Shenzhou 4, Shenzhou 1, 2, 3, 4, there's no man in it. And Shenzhou 5 carried General Yang Liwei. Shenzhou 6, Shenzhou 7, and Shenzhou 8. We start the design of Shenzhou 8. Unfortunately, Shenzhou 8 is an experimental spaceship. There's no people in it, but our design is for the astronaut, for the 3 crews. So actually, the first Shenzhou crew who used our design is Shenzhou 9. Shenzhou 9. In Shenzhou 9, there was the first Chinese female astronaut, Liu Yang. At that time, I was not in China. I visited UK for 1 year, so I couldn't attend the launch site, the launch. It's a pity for me. It's about 2013. I was invited to Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center. All Chinese know this launch site because our astronauts start from Jiuquan base to the space. At that time, it's Shenzhou 10. Actually, President Xi Jinping also attended the launch. It's his first time and the last time. I remember very clearly. It's about it's June 11. At the daytime, we launched Shenzhou 10. And the afternoon, do you know the Jiaolong?
Yes.
The submarine. It's about 7 kilometers deep under the water. Actually, the 2 crafts.
Launch the first time?
No. The same is the same time, and our team attend the 2 projects together.
Wow!
So I felt very proud when I sit in the dining hall of the Jiuquan launch site. I watched the TV, CCTV 1, 新闻联播. So I felt very proud. I'm not sure if I could have another chance to attend to see the launch. So it's a very precious memory for me. Fortunately, after that launch, I was invited to the Jiuquan launch site and the Wenchang launch site for extra 7 times. 7 times. So I watched the launch of the rocket. Yes, the Tiangong 5B and Tiangong 2F and the Tiangong 7, the 3 different models of rocket. For totally, it's about 8 times. 8 times. It's really a very exciting time and a proud time for me. Especially, we are involved with the development of the spacecraft. So I was very familiar with the spaceship, the space station. Last year, it's a busy year for China space project.
Yeah, we were back on the space.
Yes. Sorry. Last year, we launched the 2 lab modules of the Tiangong space station. Actually, it's called the biggest space module from the 21st century of our human ever launched.
Wow.
So actually, in just now we watched the video. It's about it should be this one. It's called this part. This module is called Binchen lab module. At the end of November, we launched this one.
This part.
This part. It's called Binchen. So, Binchen means heavenly inquiry. We asked the heaven. This one is called Mengtian, the heavenly dream, our future, our human future, our Chinese future, our dream. The core module was launched at 2021. 2021. It's 2 days before the May-Day. The 3 modules launched all from the Hainan Wenchang launch site. The core module is called Tianhe. It means the heavenly harmony. Besides the 3 modules, we also have the famous Shenzhou spaceship. Shenzhou spaceship. It's 3 modules. The orbit module, the re-entry module, and the resource module propellant module. The astronauts
are living
in the middle one. They also come back with this one.
Come back like a few days ago.
Yes.
Yes. We see this one.
Yeah. So this one should be the Shenzhou 14. Shenzhou 14. Sorry, it should be Shenzhou 15. This one is Shenzhou 14. Shenzhou 14.
It's basically the same, right?
Yes. It's the biggest complex of our space station. It's called 3 modules and 3 ships. The 2 manned spaceship and the 1 cargo ship.
This is for cargo.
This is for cargo.
Has it already launched?
2 segments. Yeah. No. This cargo ship it should be Tianzhou 5. Tianzhou 5 served for Shenzhou 15.
It's for this one.
Yeah. And the Tianzhou this year we will launch Tianzhou 6. Tianzhou 6 will serve for Shenzhou 16. A new one.
So it will be replaced, right?
Yes. Actually, the Shenzhou 14 not come back. This complex, this structure is a real one.
In the space.
No, yes, space.
Yes.
Space.
Now exactly we have the exact one. Only more bigger in the space right now. It's the same module.
Almost the same.
Almost the same.
Actually, the research and the development of Tiangong space station is not good. It's not. It's very difficult. It cost our almost 30 years. 30 years. The China manned space project is called 921 project.
921.
921. Because the project got the permission from our central government at September of 1992.
1990, that's a long time ago.
Yes, long time ago. 30 years.
30 years.
So 30 years. It consists three steps. Three steps of the huge project. The first. Tiangong. Second, it's called Tiangong Space Lab.
Space Lab.
The Tiangong 1 and Tiangong 2. The third step, this T-type.
T-type.
this T-type space station.
It's like a combination.
It's a combination. The three modules. It looks like a letter T. But it's first. The first phrase, the first phrase of the whole project of the space station. We should set up the second step of the space station. There should be another T-type.
Another T-type.
To combine with the first one.
So what's the relation between this T-type and the other T-type?
Want to see? Actually, this is a core module. The two lab module.
Yeah.
And the second step should be another core module, and then another two lab module. You know, the Tiangong space station was built by China, only one country, but our government opened our space station for all the countries of the world. But the first step is not so big. It's not so big. It's about 1/5 of the International Space Station, ISS, what we call CSS, China Space Station. And in the coming years, maybe there are some other foreign astronauts will come to our CSS. So this three module is small, couldn't afford so many astronauts.
What's the maximum capacity for the people living in this model?
Now it's six in a short term. It's enough. It's capable for the three astronauts. For a long term, at least half a year. Maybe for the second step, it's finished. We could consist. The maximum should be 12 astronauts, and generally it should be 6 or 7 people live and work in the space. So the new type of the CSS, in Chinese we call 干字形. Two types.
There's also
yes.
Very impressive. Very good. Informative as well. Okay, now we move on to the next questions. I think the next question we already covered it. In the 2022, in October 31, the Mengtian lab module was successfully launched. Like we heard that your team and also yourself, Professor Gou, participate in a lot of design in this kind of case. Can you tell me about it?
Okay, in addition, I forgot one thing. This one is a robotic arm, 机械臂.
Yes.
Actually, there are two arms on CSS. This is the biggest one. There are another smaller one. It should be the. I can't find it. Okay. Okay. The arm could walk on the module, just like this.
Oh, that's
like this, and to catch some experiment unit like this, to put it here. It's a very smart design. There are three main modules for the station. We we are involved with the core module and the Mengtian lab module.
So design or participate in design of
Yes.
this, like
We just finished the interior design at the beginning time for such as the general arrangement, some important conceptual design. Especially we focus on the relationship between the module and the astronaut. How to deal with the harmony relationships between the machine and the people. So we finished the earlier industrial design and human factor and ergonomics. It's very important work, and we finished the work almost 10 years ago.
10 years.
10 years ago. It's a long time for the core model. And we help the it's called CESC, the seventh academy of CASA, China Aerospace. Aerospace company. It's a huge group company, and the seventh academy located in Binchen Gou. We help this academy to build a full-scale model for the core model, and it's helpful for us to make some new design and redesign and some experiments in the module. As you know, the space station, they fly in the orbit of our Earth, and it's very fast. It's about the 20 times of the speed of bullet.
That's so fast.
It's very fast, and it's about, we call it the first cosmic velocity. So it's the state, the condition is weightless, weight loss. There's zero gravity. So it's not easy to stimulate this situation in our Earth. So we help to do so many experiments to help the designers and the engineers to make the design decision and some manufacturing work. So it lasts a long time.
So is this like the real biggest difficulties you encountered with your team when designing this technology?
I like the mobiles, the automobiles. Everyone have seen and touched and experienced the products. But for space station, no one Chinese have ever entered the space station, have seen the space station. We have to build so big engineering structure. Everything is blanket. We have no idea. Also, before CSS, the human has launched 10 space stations. The Soviet Union launched 8. It should be 7.5. 7.5. The half is the ISS. They built the ISS with America, with Europe, with Japan, and Canada. The USA launched 1.5. Sorry, the Soviet Union and Russia launched 8.5. And the USA launched 1.5. The first one is called Skylab. It's the first generation of space station. And the second half is ISS. It's keep running now. For our China, it's not easy. It's not easy. So it spends so many research and resources for it. But now we are very happy for this. It's a first big success for our space project. It should be, for my opinion, our CSS should be the 3.5 generation, and the ISS is called the fourth generation space station.
Okay. Also, let's go to our next questions. In 2022, that is last year, like Shenzhou 14, Shenzhou 15, and spacecraft were successfully launched. And for the first time, 6 astronauts were met together in the space station for the first time as well. So the space station assembly formed its maximum configuration for the first time. So we want to know more about the details, like how big it is and how heavy it is.
Actually, this question is an old question. Because now the Shenzhou 15 and the Shenzhou 14, they have already 太空会师 they meet assemble and meet the 2 different spaceship crews. They have met each other in the space station, and now the Shenzhou 14 have also back. Now it's only Shenzhou 15. Shenzhou 15 now. In this June, the Shenzhou 16 should be launched, and then met the Shenzhou 15 in orbit.
Professor, how big is it and how heavy it is?
How big? Okay. This 3 module almost the same. The diameter is the biggest diameter. It should be 4.2 meters. The diameter, yes. The same. The same. And the length it should be from 17 to 18 meters. And the Mengtian module should be the longest one. The longest one. Every one is about 22 points to 23 tons.
23 tons.
And now the whole combination is close to 100 tons.
100 tons.
100 tons.
Wow, that's a miracle. Have 100 tons space station floating nurse.
Okay. Every module, the 3 main modules. We launched the modules use this rocket.
Yes.
It's the biggest rocket for China. It's called Changzheng 5D. Changzheng is Chinese. It stands for the Long March. So sometimes we use the letter LM 5D, Long March. Sometimes we use CZ. CZ here. CZ is Changzheng Long March, Changzheng 5D. And this one, the logo is CMS, China Manned Space. And the logo looks like it's not airplane. It's a space station. The solar wings, the four solar wings, and the module. Actually, it looks like our Chinese character Zhong.
Exactly. If you know Chinese here, you can see it's like the Chinese character of Zhong. You can hear from here.
Yes.
Like it's a Chinese character of Zhong.
The flying Zhong. That's flying Zhong. Okay. This rocket had 4 boosters. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it has the longest this part to hold our 3 main modules. Every time we put the left module or the core module, here, vertically here. And this rocket, the length is about 55 meters. It's almost close to the height of the 20th floor building. So you can imagine when the commander asks ignition lift 1 3 2 1 the 20 floors building. It's about 800 tons. 800 tons. The payload is only 23 tons. It's really not easy. Actually, it's not the most powerful rocket. In our planning, it should be a Tiangong 9, Long March 9. The Tiangong 9 should serve for the lunar landing project or the exploration for the Mars. So actually we optimized the project, the lunar landing project. We changed the structure of Tiangong 5. Now the new rocket is called the Tiangong 5 DY.
What's
DY? DY, actually DY is Chinese pinyin. It's 登月 in English. Yes, it should be a lunar landing. Lunar landing. It's a CPC. It's a CPC structure. Looks like the heavy Falcon 9 from SpaceX. You know Elon Musk.
Yes. Yes.
SpaceX. They use the heavy. It's called heavy Falcon 9. We will use the same structure, CPC structure of Shenzhou of Tiangong 5. It needs 2 launch for the lunar module. 1 launch for 2 modules. 2 launches for the 4 modules. And the 2 complex should docking in the lunar orbit, and to carry at least three Chinese astronauts to landing the moon. And the project, our target is to land the moon before 2030. So in the coming 6 of the 7 years, we will see the Chinese people on the moon.
Great. Okay, now let's move on to our question 6. Ergonomics is the application of economics in manned space engineering. It is about how to realize the adaptation between astronaut and manned spacecraft with astronaut at the center. So for Shenzhou 14 and 15, there is a higher requirement for aerospace economics. Professor, so can you share with us what kind of challenge you faced during
yes, it's a big Chinese for our human to live and work in orbit in outer space. For our mission, for our subject, we deal with the industrial design and human factors and ergonomics for the astronauts. Actually, we focus on first one, it should be the environment. Environment in cabinet for the astronaut. The second should be the we call the ergonomic controls. It means just like some handle button to help for the astronauts to control some for some special functions. It's not easy to make a so clear explain because there are so many products in the modules. We have to finish 1, 2, 3, 4 one by one. Yeah. You know the astronaut. They have to eat.
Oh yeah.
They have to drink. They have to sleep. They have to do some physical exercise. So we have to develop so many equipments to serve this, and they have to control the station. There's some control panel and some control the specific equipment. There are so many reactions between the machine and the people. We have to optimize and redesign to make it better and better to help the astronauts to enjoy the equipment. So what we did is it's just like some how to say to help the astronaut to like it and please it to feel comfortable. 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, after the launch of Shenzhou 10, the TV station, Shanxi TV station, make a profile it's an interview for me, and they make a title I like very much. The NPU industrial design team make a comfortable home for the astronaut in the outer space. So I think exactly it's a good explanation for us to understand our.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Thank you for your effort. And our next question is, as a participant of our dream for space exploration, what do you think the manned space enterprises? Is there anything you want to say to our international students?
Wow.
Questions.
In the past 100 years or 1,000 years, the space exploration is really a dream. Now the dream became
reality.
Yeah. And the reality develops faster and faster. So it's really a proud time, a proud era. So in the coming decades, we can see so many new technologies generated from the space lab. The CSS called the China National Space Lab, and the new technology will help us have a good life in the future, and we will explore some new area we want to know. Not only our Earth, but other planets, especially for the Mars.
Yes, Mars.
Maybe next year this year or next year we will launch the Tianwen 2 to explore to explore another planet to help us to have a good understanding of the outer space planet. And we will start the Tiangong 3 to get sample from Mars. You know, the Tiangong 1, 2 years ago, we launched Tiangong 1. Tiangong 1, we just have realized a good landing and rover on the Mars. But several years ago, several years after, we will launch Tiangong 3 to get the rocks sample and the soil from Mars. It's really exciting. Maybe we will discover a new home for our offspring. Oh, okay.
And our 8th question is, for this 2023 admissions, the major of mechanical design and manufacturing and automation is offered to international students. So basically, it means international students have the opportunity to study here at NPU and study join our mechanical design, manufacturing, and automation major. So what do you think, Professor, the students can learn and get from their experience studying here?
Okay. Now, I teach industrial design and ergonomics. Actually, it's interesting. This year, it's 30 anniversary for me to introduce you. My bachelor study is also about this subject, the mechanical engineer. Now it's called the mechanical design, manufacturing, and automation. 30 years ago, we focused on the manufacturing process, but now this subject is a core major of our school of mechanical engineering. It's very important, and I also provide two classes. For bachelors? For bachelors, for this major. One is product design. It's a general introduction for the product development and design and so on. Another is human factors. It is about our ergonomics. So I think this subject is very good, and it can provide so many chances for our students. Our school have a good experimental condition and a good teaching team, professor team for the students. I think the students, international students, can learn much more technologies and ideas and methodologies from subject. As we know, China is called the world factory. We are good at manufacturing, and NPU is also good at manufacturing of the aerospace, of the submarine. So I think it's a good choice.
Yes.
For the international students.
Yes.
So welcome to our school.
Yes, sure. This is a good chance for you. If you come here, you have the opportunity to listen and to learn from professor firsthand and in person. Okay, now let's come to our.
Sorry. In addition, not only the manufacturer, but also the design and management. So the School of Mechanical Engineering is not only focused on the manufacturer, not only focused on the engineering, but also focused on the aesthetic and the business. We have how many? Seven or eight subjects. We have 5 departments. So it's interesting and helpful atmosphere for the students.
Yes. Okay, now we have time for the last questions. During the time of interview and also like the admission of international students, what type of quality do you see in students? Like what type of students are okay with?
Okay, the international students, they have the different backgrounds from our domestic students. So for the international students, for me, I hope the students should have a good vision, have a good ability at communication, and good understanding of engineering and design, and products, and the relationship between the equipment, between the product and the users, customers. So I think the students it's better to have a good ability to find the problem and solve the problems. You know, in university, every subject, every majors is new for our international students. You can learn, but before the learn, you should have a good self-understanding, and enhance your abilities for understanding and work hard. I think you will get much in NPU.
Thank you. Thank you.
You will be
Professor.
successful.
Yeah, thank you, Professor, and thank you for students for joining us. That is the end of our Q&A for today's webinar, and I want to thank Professor Gou again for his impressive and informative explanation and his talk about NPU and experience. And we are really glad to have him here with us, and also with this really impressive and full models with us. Okay, before we end today, I'd like to make a forecast of our next week's webinars schedule. Well, on next Monday, we have 3:30 p.m. study at NPU. So today is only live streaming for our space project. So if you have general questions about our scholarship or NPU application, you can join our next Monday's afternoon study at NPU live streaming if you have any more questions. And also another forecast for next week is Wednesday. On Wednesday, we are going to invite the School of Mechanics and Civil Engineering and Architecture, and also we have a school open day. And if you are interested in applying for School of Mechanics and Civil Engineering, you can join us next Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. Also in the same link in the Zoom as well. And also before we end today's live streaming, I want to remind you that we have a special treat for you if you apply right now. Usually our application fee is 600 RMB, but now for this month, like this is Chinese New Year, so we have a really treat for you guys. So if you apply right now in this month and this month only, you can have a discount. The application fee is deducted to 200 RMB. So take your time and also join us and join our NPU and study here and use this opportunity to apply and prepare your document. So that is the end of our webinar, and I want to remind for international students, if you are applying for a master's program, please be aware that the deadline for master's first batch is in this next month, 15th. Okay, so if you want to apply for master's, please apply before the deadline. And also PhD as well. Okay, that is the end of our webinar. I want to thank again for Professor Gou for joining us. It's really impressive. I myself learned a lot. I want to study.
Welcome.
And as you know, and I think you in the camera, in front of your camera in your home, I think you are really impressive as well. So if you want to study with Professor, if you want to study in NPU, if you want to join in this project, if you want to go to Hainan, if you want to go to Wenchang to take a lunch of the satellite, if you want to be a part of the Chinese manned aircraft project in the coming years, please join and please apply now. Okay, at the end of our webinar, thank you so much. Thank you for today. Goodbye and see you next week.
Goodbye. Welcome to join us. To join you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.